Welcome to another exciting episode of All About You. Hey guys, this is extremely amazing because I'm seeing the community just go crazy for Dragon Ball Super, the card game. Right now, this game has been growing exponentially and it's just, we don't know where it's gonna end up. So thank you all for being a part of this experience. Just keep playing the game, enjoy it. It's so much fun. It has just so much mechanics into the game that it's very simple, very simplistic game, but it just has so much to offer. So many technical plays. So just dive in and keep experimenting, guys. But without any further ado, I would like to discuss the man of the hour, which is Mr. Broly. Okay, this is going to be the deck for discussion for today's video. But before I begin, I do want to give a few little shout outs to some of the guys in the community that are pushing out some amazing content, and I do feel that you guys should take a look and you probably will learn a thing or two. Not to mention they have very enthusiastic personalities where, you know, they just captivate you as you watch them. And that is R4STV. Those guys are amazing. They played the Naruto CCG at one point in time. These guys, they know what they're doing. They're from Maryland, and their content is fresh. It is very instructive, and there's just a lot of growth going on with their channel. You know, you can check their deck profiles. They just actually released a Broly deck, which I'm going to be going over, except mine is mono green. It's going to be a mono green Broly deck. Theirs is blue green Broly, which has been getting a little bit of hype on the groups. That's been basically the essential gist of things at this point. But anyways, I also want to give a nice little shout out to Theo Gaming. That is Lloyd Bush channel. He is doing a terrific job. He has already close to 1,000 subscribers and his content is very top notch. He utilizes a green screen, which allows you to pretty much see his deck display every time he does deck profiles. It's all digital. Mine are more up close and personal. As you can see, I like giving actual card interactions because I'm just that type of player. But overall, his quality and content is superb. So definitely take a look at his stuff if you wanna, you know, gain a little bit of experience and a little twist of things. He actually utilizes cards like Objection. You already know my input on it, you know. Same thing with the other channel. They also utilize Objection. I have to object to use that card. Just can't do it. Can't do it, guys. But overall, good channels, and I think we're ready to dive into the video. All right, guys, let's get to it. This is gonna be exciting. This is a mono green Broly deck, okay? So no dual elements, no mixes in between. It's a solid destruction deck. It's hand control and board control. So without further ado, we will start off with the legend himself, Broly. Okay, guys? So let's first start getting into this card. His ability is, for one, he cannot attack battle cards. So that is actually not a great effect. It's more of a way to balance him out, so it's more of a downside. The second ability is when he attacks, you and your opponent must discard one card from their hand and put it into the drop zone, okay? So that's it's pretty strong, okay? He forces hand control, regardless whether you like it or not. The second effect is just like all the other Guardians, draw two, so you can flip into Kakarata. Broly, souped up form. He is a vicious animal. First effect is also cannot attack battle cards, but who cares when you got the rest of this powerhouse on the board? The effect is when he's sent out to attack, draw one card. Then you discard one card from your hand and discard one card in your battle area, which means not necessarily a battle card, guys. There's other cards that you may have to discard if you don't have anything else like an actual character on board. But then it passes to your opponent. Now your opponent must discard a card from their hand. Additionally, they must discard one of their characters on their board. Freaking animal. As you already know, the first form has 10k attack, and the second form has his 15,000 attack. Okay? So, without further ado, let's keep it rolling. We'll put this monster right here. He's just a monster. So now, starting off with my 1-drops, I run Broly Dawn of the Rampage. Okay? So this guy has a very interesting ability. He's just a 5k, nothing much special, just costs 1 green energy to play. When he's put in play, you look at the top 7 cards of your deck and select 1 green Broly card and add it to your hand. Pretty self-explanatory. Staple at 4. Must run at 4 in a Broly deck. The second card, extremely crucial to this deck. If not, it just wouldn't be a deck. Broly's Ring. Okay, guys? Now this little baby costs 1 green, 1 energy. Effect. Place and activate this card in the battle area. It remains in the battle area until you activate another field card. When you do, place this card into the drop area. Permanent. Your hand is not affected by your own Guardian's ability, okay? Which this means you do not discard a card from your hand, only your opponent does, which the control begins. I run 4 copies. You must run 4 copies in this type of build if it's mono green. Must run at 4, okay guys? Or you will be terribad if you don't. The next card I'm going to discuss is Full Power Energy. Okay, guys? It costs 1 green energy. It is a negation card. It negates attack. Additionally, you can discard one of your opponent's 1-drop characters. Okay? Very essential, very destructive, and it does clear weenies off the board. Characters that are essential like blocker effects, characters like Broly that search and get up setups for evolvement. You want to get rid of characters that do things later game or do things that can disturb your actual gameplay. Very essential if you're playing green. This is at 4 copies. If you're playing mono, must run at 4 or you are bad. The next card I'm going to talk about is Paragus, Controller of Monsters. Okay, guys? Now, this guy has a very good effect. That's the father of Broly, as you guys may already know. His effect is discard 1 card from your hand. In that case, search your deck for 1 Broly ring and place it on the field. It is activated for free. You pay 2, drop him, and you put in play a Broly's ring for free. He is essential to the deck at 4 copies. You want to make sure that you do have Broly's ring available every single game. Because if not, you will go minus. And the whole point of this deck is to make sure that your opponent goes minus, not you. You want to control the game, not get controlled by your own effects. The next card I want to discuss costs 2 green. His name is Overflowing Bio Warrior Army, okay? He is very strong, and this card, in my opinion, is busted. Must be ran in a Broly deck. If you don't run this card, you should not be playing this deck, okay guys? The effect. Auto. When this card is placed in the drop area from the battle area, if your leader card is Broly, you may place 1 card from your hand in the drop area. If you do, play this card. What this means, guys, is that he combos extremely well with Broly's Awakened State. That you must discard one of your own characters, okay? So what he does is that you can put him in play by deploying him, paying your 2 green, swing out with them for 15k. Once you're done, make your opponent waste cards to guard if they must, or they'll have to eat the damage. Additionally, you swing with Broly. Broly's effect, you draw your card, you discard a card if you need to, if you don't have the ring in play, and then you discard him. Then guess what? Now you have the option, as soon as he hits the drop zone, to say, hey, I'm going to discard 1 card from my hand. In that case, he comes right back into play in active mode. And then you can swing again with him. And he stays on the field. You have an infinite guy who comes back regardless what happens to him. And mind you, his effect is not just for your own abilities. His effect is in general when this card is placed in the drop area. Okay? From the battle area, meaning that if you're playing a deck that also has destruction power and they try to kill your board or kill this card, all you have to do is discard a card from your hand and he comes back. This effect keeps on happening. It's a very unique trigger ability that only this deck can utilize at this moment in time. Run 4. If you do not run 4, you should not be playing this deck, okay? I could build something more simple for you because this is a little bit more strategic and it requires you to study card effects and not misplay. Essential at 4, essential at 4, essential at 4. I think you already know what I'm heading with this, okay? The next card, I should not even have to explain myself on this. Trunks Protector of Children. If you watched any of my other previous videos, you already know what you must do. Run at 4 or you're bad of any of these cards that are free 10Ks and draws you a card when you are 4 or less life. Let's move on. Cannot waste time on something very basic. And if you are new to my channel, run 4, guys. This will save your butt in actual gameplay. The next card I want to discuss is Son Goten Family of Justice. This card is very unique. It costs 1 because you will never play this card on the board unless you must. This is like a make or break or do or die situation when you do play this card on the board. Effect. Auto. During your turn, when you combo with this card, you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards and discard it, but it must be a cost of 3 or less. This is a must run. You can have an option of running this card from 2 to 4 copies, use at your own discretion, okay? But this is a must run. It's very good for weenie decks, very good for decks that set up, very good overall. Must run. I run at 4 copies because in this format there's just many cards that you need to get rid of. The heart of the deck. I might as well go Yu-Gi-Oh! Heart of the cards. Guide me into discarding and scooping your opponent's hand up. Gotenks, okay? Now his ability, okay, is when he's sent out to attack, your opponent must discard 1 card. He costs 3 energy, 1 being green. This is a must discard. Your opponent has no choice but to get scooped up and lose their hand, okay? So, what do you think, guys? How many copies you think you're gonna be running of them? 1, 2, 3, or 4? If the answer was not 4, you're bad. Next card. Raging Attacker Vegeta. He costs 4 energy, 2 being green. Ability, counterplay. He can be put in play during your opponent's turn on the attack step. Ability, when this card is put into play, you may discard one of your opponent's 4 or less battle cards. Extremely essential. It's board removal. It's controlling your opponent's characters. It's limiting their resources. It's just freaking amazing. Vegeta is the shit, okay? He does a lot in this game, as you may already know. Run 4 copies. Now, I will not tell you it's a must run at 4, but I am a very controlling and abusive player in the game. I like making sure that my opponent cannot do anything. So that is my way of utilizing my ability to scoop them up. Next card, Furious Yell Vegeta. Another card. Now this is more of a tech. I don't see many players running this card. Why the heck would you not run this card when you can pretty much force yourself to go into Awakening if your opponent is a coward, aka Pussycat? What you need to do is destroy their board even more and go into your Awaken. Ability, he costs 4, 2 green. Okay guys, getting back right into production. Video just cut off, so let's get right back into it. As I said, Vegeta Furious Yell must run in this deck. It's essential for you to go into your Awakened state and wreck your opponent up, okay? He's extremely essential in my opinion, and you should incorporate him in any Broly deck you run if it's mono, okay? I run him at 2 copies. Now guys, as you may know, this is a Broly deck. So of course, you're gonna need to have more Broly support. In this deck, I run Rampaging Lifeform Bio Broly, okay? First thing, he has Double Strike. Second thing, he has Evolve, which means that he costs 1 less. He costs 4 energy instead of 5. Now, next effect, when he is evolved, your opponent must select 2 cards from their hand and discard it. So all you have to do is start off with the little Broly, as I showed you earlier, and evolve him. Once he is evolved, you can begin to scoop your opponent up swiftly. They start losing their hand, they will start losing the game. Key to this deck, destroy hand, destroy field with these type of cards, and you win the game. I run 4 copies, no less, no more, because this is the whole purpose of this deck, to destroy your opponent. Next card, Super Saiyan Gotenks. Probably my most favorite card in the game at this point in time. I just love this guy, okay? He has Double Strike. He's a 25k character. He has Evolve, so he can cost 4. He will cost 3 green and 1 generic. If you pay his regular cost, he costs 2 green and 3 generic. He's amazing. Effect, when he is put into play, you can renew 2 of your energy card and place them in active mode. The second effect is that you draw 1 card. Freaking amazing. Gotenks killing it in style. Extremely strong. If you're running any form of green, it's a must run. I choose to play 4 because I like drawing cards and renewing energy. The last 4 cards of this deck is none other than Broly the Rampaging Horror. This man is a monster. First of all, let's just go first of all. Let's do this. This man is a 6-drop, okay? He costs 4 green and 2 generic. But he has evolved, which means you can pay 4 green and 1 generic, and he can come out on your 5th turn. Additionally, he has double strike. Additionally, he is a 30k character, a powerhouse, one of the strongest cards in the game. He is the monster, the beast, the deck, okay? This man is a must run at 4. He is God of this deck. You can't do any better than this man. Freaking God. Okay, guys? So I hope you enjoyed this green deck profile of Broly. This is the correct way to play Broly. And as I said, my explanations are very key. Listen to my words, because this will make you a better player. This is very essential to run this deck in this manner. I will show you gameplay, and I will scoop any opponent I play up with this build. You do not need to mix Broly in order to make it competitive. This can be ran as a mono, but your mindset must be right for this deck. You cannot afford to make misplays, and you must remember to always control your opponent's board. They are priority. You need to get your setup. You need to make sure you destroy your opponent. And as always, this channel is all about you.